Hi, I'm Felix Harder, fitness and dieting coach and Amazon best-selling author. Today I want to show you how you can improve your health and nutrition through proven diet strategies that are based on actual science and research. This really is a masterclass that will teach you everything you need to know about topics like meal planning, dieting for weight loss, dieting for muscle gain, and how you can improve your immune system with the right foods and vitamins. Unfortunately, the internet is full of false health gurus that will sell you all kinds of diet plans and supplements that are overpriced and don't work. This is why I wanted to create a video course that not only debunks the most common dieting myths, but also teaches you everything you need to know to reach your personal goals, be it lose fat, build muscle, or simply live a healthier life. When it comes to your health and fitness, the correct diet is even more important than the right workout routine. To see results, you have to know what you're doing though. This is why in the course I will take you through each of the steps involved in setting up and following through with your diet. We will start with the basics like your ideal calorie balance and how much fat, protein and carbs you should eat. Then I show you how to perfect your diet with the right meal timing, meal frequency and the right foods to really get the most out of your diet. In my time as a diet coach, I've taught thousands of students with different backgrounds. Obviously, the diet of an athlete who wants to optimize performance needs to be different from the diet of the average person. The same goes for people looking to build muscle or to lose weight. So in the course, we will design your personal diet plan that is right for your needs. Of course, you can also just take one of the many sample diet plans I provide and start today. What sets this course apart from others is that I don't want to sell you some overpriced PDF that you read once and never look at again. I designed this video course to be a complete program with over 80 lessons teaching you how to reach every possible fitness goal that you can imagine. This includes not just the right fat loss and muscle gain diets, but also things like how you can increase testosterone naturally, how to boost your immune system, and how to read a nutrition label correctly. I also included lessons on the most common dieting trends like gluten-free, paleo, low-carb, vegan diets, and intermittent fasting. Using actual data from scientific studies, I will show you when and if you really need those diets and when you can simply ignore them. Along the way, we will also answer some very important questions like, does meat really cause cancer? Do eggs raise cholesterol? And are carbs bad for you? From my experience, to see lasting results, you need to know how your body works and what strategies will help you reach your goals. This is what this program focuses on. No fad diets or gimmicks, but actual science-based advice that is proven to work. I want to thank you for checking out my course, and if you liked it so far, be sure to read the description for more details and check out the preview clips. Hi, and welcome to the course. In this introduction, I want to give you a short overview of what you will learn throughout the program. It's quite a bit, but let me first tell you something about myself so you know who I am and why you should listen to me. My name is Felix Harder and I'm a fitness and dieting coach. A couple of years ago I published my first book, The Gym Bible, which became an instant Amazon bestseller and led me to publish 5 more books related to health and fitness. In 2016 I started teaching online fitness courses and now have thousands of people taking my courses and following my blog simplemuscle.net. What sets me apart from many other coaches out there is my approach to fitness. Everyone's body is different and will react differently to special workouts and diets. That's why I don't give advice that is based only on my own experience. I want to make sure to recommend only what's scientifically proven to work, not just for me, but for the average person. With all these fitness trends out there, I think this is the most important thing. Looking at the facts to decide whether a diet or workout makes sense, or if it's just pure hype. That's what I did for this course and what you're about to learn. So here's a quick overview of what we will cover. I broadly divided the course into 2 main parts: meal planning and healthy dieting. Meal planning will teach you everything you need to know about how to structure your diet to lose weight, gain muscle, or to do both. If you regularly exercise, then you know that your diet and nutrition plays a huge role and is actually more important than your workout. To guarantee results and to help you understand all the important aspects of meal planning, I will teach you the following: what role calories play in your diet and how many you should consume, how to structure your macronutrient split, meaning how many grams of protein, carbs, and fat you need to take in every day, and what kind of protein, carbs, and fat sources are best. How to time your meals throughout the day, and how many meals you should actually eat. We will also talk about pre- and post-workout meals, cheat meals, adjusting your diet for muscle gain or weight loss, and a number of supplements that can enhance your results. In the second part of the program, we will talk about what I call healthy dieting. This includes all the aspects of dieting that will enhance your quality of life by designing a well-balanced diet that will make you feel more healthy and energized. This is something many traditional fitness diets neglect that are simply geared towards building muscle or losing fat. Even though they tell you how much protein or carbs you need, they forget about things like vitamins and minerals that have a great impact on your health. So in this section we will talk about all the essential vitamins and minerals and how you can include them in your diet, general dieting myths that need to be debunked, the most common dieting trends like gluten-free, paleo, low-carb, vegan or intermittent fasting, and which make sense and which are nothing more than marketing hype. How much water you should really drink every day, supplements for better immunity, how to increase testosterone naturally, and general guidelines to overall well-being. I will also tell you where you can go to do your own research so you don't have to blindly trust every so-called fitness guru out there. As you can see, we have quite a lot to cover, so let's get started. Like I said in the last lesson, the most important priority in your diet are calories. From a scientific standpoint, whether you gain weight or lose weight is determined by the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one type to another. Now, I don't want to turn this into a physics lesson, but when applied to dieting, the first law of thermodynamics states that your body weight is dependent only on the difference between the number of calories that you consume versus the number of calories that you burn, which is known as your calorie balance. Before we go into the different forms of calorie balances, let's first talk about what a calorie actually is. A calorie is the amount of energy needed to raise the temperature of 1 liter of water by 1 degree Celsius. Just as a side note, I'm talking about food calories here, also known as large calories or kilocalories. These are the calories that you will find on food packaging. There are also small calories, which are used more in a scientific context, and 1 large calorie equals 1,000 small calories. Okay, back to the definition of calories. What you have to understand is that a calorie is a form of energy measurement. When you eat food, you're consuming the energy that is stored within the food. Your body then uses this energy to produce movement and keep your organism alive. Alternatively, if not all energy is used right away, it can also be stored for later use. Some energy can be stored in the muscles and liver as glycogen, but these stores fill up pretty quickly, so your body will then store any additional calories in the form of body fat. With this in mind, what is your calorie balance? There are 3 different types of calorie balances, and you can only be in one of them at any time. The first type is a positive calorie balance. Here, someone consumes more calories through food than he or she burns. Their body will then have all the calories it needs for survival and activity, but because there will also be some additional calories left afterwards, these extra calories are then stored as either glycogen in the muscle and liver or as fat in the fat cells. Per definition, this type of calorie balance always results in weight gain, because a surplus of calories means a surplus of energy that has to land somewhere. Therefore, the body will create new tissue as an energy reserve. This new tissue is usually body fat, but if you exercise, the additional energy can also be converted into new muscle tissue. The second type of calorie balance is a negative calorie balance. This occurs when someone consumes fewer calories through food than he or she burns. Here, the body needs more calories to produce energy for its daily functions than it gets from the food you consume. That means it has to make up the difference by burning stored energy. It will therefore have to break down body tissue, which leads to weight loss. Now, all these changes in weight, so weight gain in a positive calorie balance as well as weight loss in a negative calorie balance, can be offset by changes in water retention, which is why they sometimes go unnoticed. But if we exclude this factor, per definition you will always gain or lose weight
if your calories don't match your energy expenditure. This brings me to the third and last type of calorie balance, which is a neutral calorie balance. Here, someone consumes the same number of calories through food as his or her body burns. This means all the calories you consume will be used for some form of body process and your weight will remain stable. Of course, the food you eat and the calories you burn will never match 100% on any given day. But over the course of weeks and months, a neutral calorie balance is definitely possible. If your weight hasn't changed over the last few months, your calorie balance is almost always neutral. Okay, so now that you know the fundamentals behind calorie balances, let's see how all this dry theory can help us with actual real-life dieting. What you need to understand is that your calorie balance will determine how much muscle you can gain and how much fat you can lose over any period of time. Why? Because calories are literally the building blocks of body tissue. If you want to build more muscle, you not only need to train, but you also need to provide your body with the necessary raw materials to form muscle cells. On the other hand, if you want to burn fat, you have to make sure that your body doesn't have enough calories for maintenance and activity, so it will draw additional energy from the fat cells, which leads them to shrink. I will explain both processes in more detail later. No matter what fitness blog you read or which expert you listen to, they will all agree on one thing. Protein is important. Not only is it important for building and repairing muscle fibers after exercise, but it actually has thousands of other essential roles in the body. For example, producing antibodies for the immune system, manufacturing hormones and enzymes that are involved in most reactions in the body, aiding in the digestion and absorption of food, maximizing the transport of oxygen to tissues, and providing structure for muscles, tendons, ligaments, organs, bones, hair, and skin. For fitness purposes, protein is actually the most important dietary macronutrient. That's because muscle is literally made out of it. If your muscles are the walls of your house, then protein is the concrete out of which the walls are built. It not only provides the building blocks for muscle growth, but also supplies the amino acids which are essential in maintaining muscle mass when in a calorie deficit. As you can see, protein both builds new muscle and saves existing muscle from being lost. This makes it extremely important to get enough of it when you want to maximize your muscle growth and fat loss. Let's now look at what happens when you consume protein. About 90% of the protein you eat is broken down into amino acids, which then become part of the amino acid pool that the body draws upon when it needs to build or repair muscle or other tissues. Unlike carbohydrates and fat, which the body can store for later use, amino acids have no form of storage in the body, so it's important to have some protein every day. But wait, before we continue, let's clarify one thing. What are amino acids anyway? Amino acids are the building blocks of protein and are necessary to support muscle growth. Amino acids are usually categorized as either essential or non-essential. There are 8 or 9 essential amino acids, depending on how you categorize them, but you don't really have to worry about them too much. Just understand that your body cannot create them and they must be obtained from foods and/or supplements. And on the other hand, there are also non-essential amino acids, which can be produced in the body by reconfiguring other amino acids.
Okay, now that you have learned the basics of meal planning theory, let's put everything into practice. Remember how your calorie balance is the #1 determinant of your diet success, and that there are 3 different states of a calorie balance: negative, positive, and neutral. Of course, to reach any of the 3 states, you will have to know how many calories your body expends every day. There are several different equations and strategies you can use to calculate this value. Some of them are more or less accurate and more or less difficult than others. I will now show you the easiest and most straightforward way, which is to calculate your TDE. Your TDE describes your total daily energy expenditure, which is the number of calories that your body burns in one day. It is calculated by estimating how many calories you burn while resting. This is called your basal metabolic rate, or BMR, and adding a certain number of calories on top depending on how often you exercise. If you were to consume roughly the same amount of calories as your TDE, you'd be in a neutral calorie balance. If you consume more calories than your TDE, you would be in a positive calorie balance, and if you consume fewer calories than your TDE, you would be in a negative calorie balance. Pretty easy. The simplest method of calculating your TDE is by using an online calculator, such as the one I linked in the resource section. It will ask for your age, weight, height, and weekly exercise. While the result will not be 100% accurate, since we all have different metabolisms and BMRs, it will give you a good idea of how many calories you need to consume in order to maintain your current weight. If this is not exact enough for you, or you feel the value you got from the online calculator is a little off, you want to do the following. Use the estimated TDE value and consume around this number of calories every day. Next, weigh yourself twice a week and monitor changes in weight. If you're losing weight, the estimated TDE was too low and you should increase it by 100 calories. If you're gaining weight, the estimated TDE was too high and you should decrease it by 100 calories. Continue the strategy until your weight stagnates, which is the point where you have found your true TDE. To make things easier for you, let's take the example of a man who weighs 180 pounds, is 6 foot or 180 centimeters tall, and 25 years old. If we assume he trains 3 to 4 times a week at high intensity, his TDE will lie anywhere between 2,500 and 2,700 calories per day. You would then start with one of the two values and diet accordingly for about 10 days to 2 weeks. If you're gaining weight, you will have to decrease your initial calorie value, and if you're losing weight, increase it. For the sample diet, which we will set up in the next lessons, I will assume a TDE of 2,600 calories per day.